Cool. Guys, we're doing this, I guess, like super old school style and very
bare bones. I like it.
Yeah, very podcasty. You're listening to Matador Sports News Network here, and it's your homies. I got Ryan Fox in the building. I got Matt the Stat and your homeboy Saul here. Grape's flight, I guess, is delayed. It's been delayed for 2 weeks. So I don't know what's up with him. Unfortunately, guys, I can't play any music. I can't play any sound. I can't play anything. Our internet isn't working at the station, so we have to go ahead and I guess just record this video, and hopefully I guess I'll just upload it to our Facebook Live. Yeah, that's the camera right there. Let's see. Yeah, this is Matador Sports. We're here in Orlando, Florida, broadcasting out of Valencia East Campus here, and it's a pretty nice day, guys. Don't forget to text Longshot to 57711. Longshot Bar and Billiards. You get a free drink on us. They're over in the Four Corners area, down on 192. I'm sorry, I'm like rushing all that. What else do I need to say? I guess that's it, man. I don't know. Fox, what's up?
You're rushing these intros like
I am rushing.
Trevor Ariza was rushing through that door.
Hey,
we're gonna like Indiana Jones style with a torch, a little lantern. There's cockroaches crawling all over the walls.
We're
this way.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. That's gonna be one of my more fun things to talk about.
I just wanted to make you laugh because you're stressed out.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
The mood up.
I appreciate it. Let's see. Did you guys? I mean, I'll tell you about my weekend in a second. Anyone do anything
I had
cool?
the best possible viewing experience for, well, maybe not the 1 o'clock games, but for the Vikings and the Saints game. I won't say anything. I'm sure you could figure out which restaurant that I work at. If it's the Saints, it's on Aloma. It rhymes with Libby's. It's a New Orleans kitchen. And when I tell you that watching the Saints and Vikings game, I got to see every range of emotion, the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. I saw people give up on the game, get roped back in. This is it. And then Stephon Diggs coming through.
I mean, we're gonna get to all that too, but I could only imagine. I don't even want to. Oh my God!
The restaurant was empty in 5 minutes, and the only reason it took 5 minutes is because some people needed their checks. Man, it was bad.
Yeah, I could see that. Matt, you do anything cool, man? At all?
I watched football this weekend.
Yeah, just watch football.
Yeah,
I know you enjoyed it. I got to eat some crow here in a second. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I know it's pretty bad. Some what were you saying, Fox? Some consequences, repercussions. Yeah. Oh man. Well, I actually got a chance to go to the that celebrity golf tournament over there. Oh man, now my mind's drawing a blank. I can't believe I forget where it's at. I don't know.
What celebrities you ran into?
Yeah, well, no. Do you know which one I'm talking about? The one over at Cypress something or something
I
or
don't.
other? Jesus Christ. I got to find it here. I got to look it up. I mean, the internet's working on my phone at least, so that's always good. Oh, the Tranquilo Golf Club at Four Seasons Resort. There you go. Anyways, and it was the Diamond Resorts. I'm sorry. Bang, because I just saw pictures of it. Go ahead.
This is way too bougie for me. I don't know any.
Oh no, dude, it was awesome. I mean, listen, they had who did I get to see? I mean, right off the rip, Josh Beckett was there. A lot of like ex athletes. You know, Ray Allen, Brian Urlacher. I got to give him some dap. He was really cool. John Daly was there.
When you become an ex athlete, are you required to get like overweight? Like were all these guys just like rich?
Oh, dude. Well, Brian Urlacher.
You don't have to drop any names.
Brian Urlacher looks good. He's still in good shape.
Yeah.
Josh Beckett, I was super surprised.
Man, let yourself go a little bit.
You know what? Actually, hey, get over here. Get over on the other mic, Alex. You know what? I forgot to introduce. We got a guy here. Seriously, get over here. He's gonna walking over right now. This is my buddy Alex.
Though, like baseball players, like you got it's all athletes. You're such a strict conditioning regimen, and you make all this money. You got to. It's your job to work out, and then it's over. Stop! I'm not doing this anymore. When you retire, you see Ken Griffey Jr., bro. Like,
dude, he's huge.
He looks great.
So I used to
it's the opposite of like looking back. He looks great.
I used to I used to bartend at this country club out in like the Champions Gate area, and Ken Griffey would go there. And he went there one time, and I had no idea that was him. That's how like
Ken
out of
Griffey Jr.
shape, dude. It was the
No, you're
craziest thing. I was like, no way, you're Ken Griffey Jr. I'm like thinking this guy's. I mean, it was, it was super interesting. I'll tell you that. Like super duper interesting to see some of these guys and what they look like.
So did Ken Griffey Jr. have a pot belly?
Well, no, yeah, at the country club, that's an understatement. Josh Beckett was pretty big. Who else did you see? Alex, who else did we see? And, hey, talk up on the mic. You got to talk up on the mic. Yeah.
There's the cable guy.
You got to talk up on the mic, man.
Alfonso.
There you go.
There you go. Make love tweets.
Alfonso. Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
dope, Carlton. Carlton's pretty cool. He actually did the Carlton dance too.
Yeah.
He did it.
Yeah, he did
Did
it.
someone ask him or did he just bust it out? You can't do
Now,
that.
Dude, some lady screamed it out from behind us.
now are we sure it was Ray Allen and not Ray Allen's mom?
Oh, man. Yeah, because they look exactly alike. I know, I get it. No, it was definitely Ray Allen. He was in really good shape as well. Josh Donaldson was there. Got to see him. That was pretty cool.
Based on Ray Allen's physique, do you believe the rumors that he wanted to make a comeback?
Do you
think that he could have pulled it off?
You know what? Yeah, man. I wouldn't put it past him.
Right,
just
so
to be
then
like
he
a
didn't
spot
look
up
too
shooter.
bad.
No, he looked great. Ray
All
Allen
right.
looked great.
You're like, he looked all right. Like,
No,
yeah,
well,
he looked
I
great.
mean, you're thinking
Great and all right are very different.
All right, you're absolutely correct. So I'll go with great. Ray Allen looked great. Brian Urlacher looked great. Josh Donaldson's still playing, obviously. So
he looks phenomenal.
Yeah, these guys are looking good. But I'm telling you,
Brian Urlacher got hair.
Brian Urlacher had hair. Yeah, I know. I mean, you've got to. I mean, so he did the hair restoration thing. I think this
Kobe
happened
went
like a year or two
to
ago.
Europe to get his was his knee
Yeah, I
repaired,
think
and
it was his
Urlacher
knee.
went to get his hair back.
Yo, I mean, these guys look good. But I guess one of the cooler things that happened because Alex and I were sitting there, and I wanted to talk to this analyst, this broadcaster from ESPN. He's the guy that I've kind of followed for a little. I don't follow golf as closely as I follow him, and I think his story is pretty cool because this guy was a caddy for 10 years. Before, I guess anything else took off. So he definitely knows the sport. But I got to meet Michael Collins, and I thought that was probably one of the coolest things ever. Because the guy's about 5'5", by the way. So on camera, he looks, I guess, tall until he stands next to these athletes. But I don't know, just one of the nicest guys. So I just wanted to shout him out. The guy said he'd love to be on the show at one point and let us interview him and talk to him. So I thought it was pretty neat. But I almost didn't do it. And so the words of the wise over here. What'd you tell me, Alex?
Only one opportunity you have.
Yeah.
That's all you have.
That's
One
pretty
chance.
much it.
All
So
right,
you guys
I wouldn't-
remember. Go ahead.
I wasn't going to bring this up, but now that you're talking about like, oh, this guy looked tall on camera, but in person he's like 5'5". So I think you saw this. I don't know if you know this, but I had my in-ring debut.
Yes, yeah, that's awesome.
That was a
that
moment
was good.
where I was like, wow, like you see some wrestlers like on TV and you're like, this guy is huge. And then I'm standing next to some people and I'm like, wow, I am bigger than person X.
Yes.
It's pretty weird.
Oh no, yeah, I could totally see that. I wish I had that happen to me. I'm like the complete opposite. I'm a lot smaller than I guess. I don't know. I'm just a short guy. I think, yeah, whatever. I don't know where I was going with that. That was a bad joke. Good thing this isn't live, right? I'll edit this out later.
No, man, this is organic.
Yeah, edit it out later. Yeah.
You're not going to hit a home run every time.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway,
Sometimes you're Griffey and sometimes you're
Griffey
Current
from
Griffey.
from the country club. Yeah.
Griffey.
But yeah, just a shout out to Michael Collins because he was a super stand up guy. Took time out of his day to come over, shake my hand, talk to me for a second. And you know what, man? Shout out to Larry the Cable Guy of all people. I hate saying that.
Was he in character the whole time, or was he just like Larry?
He just looked normal. I mean, so Carlton did the dance before we saw him do the dance. You heard a lot of music being played over at the 18th hole where they're going to tee off at the 18th hole. So we're listening to all this music, Fresh Prince-esque music that they played in the show. We're like, that's got to be Carlton, you know what I mean? Like doing his dance or whatever. And, after it all, Larry the Cable Guy is kind of taking pictures because, I'm just fast forwarding it because Carlton did the Carlton thing and then whatever. Larry the Cable Guy didn't really say anything, and until right at the end, I was like, "Hey, man, I said Mr. Cable Guy." I was like, I don't know, I don't know.
Mr. the Cable Guy.
Mr. the Cable Guy. I was like, Larry, and he looks over, and I'm like, dude, can I get one more? I'm sorry, can I get a quick picture? And he was like, yeah, man. He like came over, put his arm around me, and right when I snapped it, he like kind of like said it right in my ear, like, "Get her done." That is it. I was like, oh, all right, that was, it's kind of cool. Whatever, with these guys are, I guess, like, when they kind of play to the crowd or whatever, and like they're fans or something, whatever, it was neat. But enough about that, man. We have a lot to talk about here over this weekend. And I'll let Matt, the grin on this guy's face is just...
Matt's stretching right now.
Yeah,
He's
he
so
is.
ready to go.
This is like ridiculous. Oh my God.
Stepping up to the mic right
All
now.
right. So we've got the NFL. The weekend came through, and the Jags beat the Steelers. Take us away, Matt.
I seem to recall, and I'm going to remind you of this every week, that when the
ridiculous.
Jags were 7-4, you said they would finish 8-8 and miss the playoffs. Well, they got up to 10-4, let their foot off the gas, made the playoffs after they beat Buffalo. You said there's no way they would beat Pittsburgh. And then they went into Heinz Field and put 45 on the board and advanced to the AFC title game to face the Patriots. And if you remember back in week 9, I said if Jacksonville got New England in the postseason, they would beat them.
Listen, we're going to get to that in a second. We're just talking about this game, and you know what? And I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show. You're right, Matt. You've been right. The new name of the show is Saul Knows Nothing About Sports, and Matt knows everything. And that's the name of today's show. It's
Don't
like
try
Saul
to
knows,
diffuse
Saul
this.
knows
You
nothing.
need to take your lumps here.
Yeah, it's bad. Oh man, this is bad.
We're going to get to the Titans Patriots, don't you worry.
It was just whatever, man.
So we're leading with Steelers and Jags.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Fox.
Fire,
go ahead,
Tomlin.
Oh, what?
There's already saying that I read today that there's some pressure that they want to get him out of there. Him and Haley.
Oh man, I don't know.
You can't go into that game. I think if Tomlin, I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about Mike Tomlin because and the Steelers because, like everyone, you're kind of forced to know a little bit about the Steelers because of how prominent they are. But I don't know how you let the Steelers talk all week about the Patriots if you're Tomlin. I think you should nip that in the butt immediately, not have to wait until you have guys saying, "Oh no, we're not disrespecting Jacksonville." Yeah, you are. You lost. What was it 30-9, right? In the regular season, you can't be looking past that.
The
team
regular
that did that
season
to you.
beatdown. Yeah. I don't know. Go ahead.
I'm actually kind of with him. I think it's time for Pittsburgh to make a change because they haven't been to the Super Bowl in, what are we talking about now, 7 years? And they consistently have the most talent in the league. Like, it's super consistent. Like, they've always got great receivers. They always have a good running back. They always have a good defense. And they can't get over the hump. Like, to be honest, they have significantly more talent than New England. Significantly more. Tomlin always gets out-coached in the postseason. Always. He won that Super Bowl in 2008, which was really Bill Cowher's team. And the talent's still there. It's always been there, but he can't take them to that next step. They got handled last year in the AFC Championship game by New England. It wasn't even a competitive game, and they fell asleep at the wheel. Talent for talent, they should have beaten Jacksonville. But I knew it wasn't going to happen because I know Pittsburgh.
I knew it wasn't going to happen. Listen to this guy.
And I know what Jacksonville's defense is capable of.
What did you watch the game at all?
I didn't get to watch the game.
You didn't get to watch the game? All right, I was going to ask you.
Minnesota game, Minnesota Saints.
All right, yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
What do
Listen,
you attribute though? But talking about Jacksonville's defense, is it just?
Thank you for bringing that up. Go ahead.
Is it like? I'm not going to put too much stock into them getting torched by the 49ers because while they had something to play for, they kind of didn't. Like they were already in the playoffs. But I mean, Pittsburgh still hung 43 points on the board. Like,
Thank
that's
you.
a lot of.
And
That's
this
a big
is-
worry. Like I agree with you that they do have more talent than New England. So that's, you have Bell, You have Brown. Martavius Bryant, Smith-Schuster. I mean, all those guys are. Those are weapons that on one team. It's almost like a fantasy team.
Yeah.
Like Martavius Bryant's going to be a free agent. Like how many guys have left Pittsburgh? Like Emmanuel Sanders. Oh well, he's benefiting from Roethlisberger. He goes over to Denver and still kills it.
Yeah.
So you're right about the consistency of talent being there.
So this is my thing. You brought up Jacksonville's defense.
Yes.
And I get that that's what everyone's talking about. This is what I've been getting from everybody. It's an elite defense. Yada, yada, yada. They're going to this, that, and the third. You were saying, look, you got it right, Matt, that Jacksonville is going to beat Pittsburgh. But from what I heard, I guess what I was taking from all that was that Pittsburgh wasn't going to put up any points. Jacksonville was going to get like 1 million interceptions. And Jacksonville's defense was just going to terrorize the crap out of Pittsburgh. They still put up 42 points, like you said. And I don't know anything about elite defenses, but last time I checked, elite defenses aren't going to give up 469 yards and 5 touchdowns, to the opposing quarterback. If they're an elite defense, you were trying to go ahead and make this argument. Go ahead and make this argument because I got something for that.
All right,
too, Matt. Take that for data.
You can take this for data. Let's put this into context. Jacksonville got up 21-0, 28-7, and truth be told, they let their foot off the brake a little bit.
No, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I knew you were going to say that. That argument doesn't count. They left the foot off the brake. It's a playoff game, and you're going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who arguably have one of the most potent offenses in the league. And you mean to tell me that even though you're up 28-7, and they're moving the ball on them, tell me that Ben Roethlisberger was not moving the ball on them, regardless if they were up 28-7. I mean, one pick. It was that one interception. I think that did it for them.
For a touchdown was pretty.
Oh, that's what it was. I'm sorry. And that, yeah, thank you.
They moved the
huge.
ball.
That was huge.
Again, context. You're up 3 touchdowns. You play a little more conservatively to keep everything in front of you.
No, that's
and
ridiculous.
Pittsburgh had to go for it 6
that's
times on 4th down. And
that defense was not playing conservative. That defense was blitzing every chance that they got.
They don't.
Are you?
Whoa! They're not a blitzing defense. They're a Tom.
They
Coughlin
overrush.
team.
They overrush.
They rush 4 guys consistently. They don't need to blitz to get to the quarterback.
Well, regardless,
that's why they're called Saxonville.
Regardless, they overrushed, and Pittsburgh was taking advantage of that. That's why they kept doing those little dinky screens, and they kept working, and they kept moving the chains. I don't see anything elite about this defense. I don't. Unless they win. If they win, then okay. But those elite defenses that won championships, I don't remember them ever giving up 42 points in the playoffs.
I've seen lots of teams give up a lot of points.
The 2000 Ravens didn't give up 42 points in the playoffs.
No.
The 2002 Bucks didn't give up 42 points in the playoffs.
So that's like an all.
Well, and
Those are all-time great
And
defenses.
people are comparing, and that's what I'm saying is people are comparing the Jaguars' defense right now to those defenses.
That's silly.
I swear. I mean, it's ridiculous, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody's elite unless you win a chip. But that's just me in general.
Who are these people comparing them to the 02 Bucks or the 2000 Ravens?
Oh my goodness! I mean, everybody online. I can't believe you haven't seen any of this stuff yet.
I haven't seen anybody, unless it's, listen, first of all, I don't listen to the ravings of Jacksonville Jaguar fans, all 17 of them.
Yeah, there's a little
You
bit
should,
more.
because they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're excellent.
I mean, this year, you know what I mean? I'll give it to them. But I'm telling you right now, it's ridiculous.
I'll get on your side, though, Saul, about I don't think that the Jags let their foot off the brake because did they get the ball? They got the ball to start.
Pittsburgh got the ball.
Okay, well, they were only down 2 scores.
Exactly.
Like, I remember saying that,
Mm-hmm.
after Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh scored and then Jacksonville just took it into the locker room, that this is exactly where Pittsburgh wanted to be. They're down 14. They get the ball to start the half, and then they're only down 7 if they can score on their opening drive with basically 2 quarters left.
Mm-hmm.
At home, that's extremely doable. That's very doable.
Yeah.
That Jacksonville didn't score the entire third quarter.
They ain't elite, Matt. It's not an elite defense, and they're a good defense, but they're not a Super Bowl winning defense. I'll tell you that.
I don't know, man. I think that Jacksonville. I'm not just trying to hot take it here. For whatever reason, I really think that Jacksonville has a shot, a puncher. I'll say a puncher's chance against New England. I think they'll definitely cover that 9.5 points.
It's and that's another thing. Game. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too when we get to that game.
Jacksonville is playing right now the way that they're not just playing, the way they're carrying themselves. Like, and we all rag on Bortles a lot too, but I want to praise this guy's mental toughness. Imagine being Bortles. Everyone is telling you you suck. You're terrible. Blah 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 blah. And then you just dust yourself off, go out there, and I'm not going to say he played out of his mind, but he was not a detriment to Jacksonville against Pittsburgh. He played pretty well. He just tunes out all the negativity around him.
It was 14
does
for
what they ask
26,
him, and they win.
14 for 26, 214 yards, and 1 touchdown to who? That fullback?
He made some throws though. Like that's not what's showing up.
Oh man.
Listen.
Leonard Fournette with 100 yards and 3
Fournette's
TDs.
definitely the guy. About this game. I'm not trying to take that away from him, but we need to pump the brakes on Bortles a little bit.
On the Bortles hate,
AFC. Yeah. He's in the AFC, and I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah.
He stinks, but he sucks, blah blah. But he's in the AFC Championship game right now, and they're asking him to do stuff, and he's doing it for the most part. The Buffalo game, yeah, okay, but to have a game like that, put it behind you, move forward, and have the type of game that he did against Pittsburgh is pretty impressive.
Well, gentlemen. Oh no, go ahead, Matt. One last thing.
Yeah, we're recording. Let's linger on.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, it don't matter to me.
Linger around
Yeah. No, go for it.
Jacksonville has more than a puncher's chance against New England. So I've already doubled down. So I'm going to quadruple down on this pick.
All right.
We're 5 days away.
We'll see what happens.
Jacksonville will defeat New England.
What's the score?
Jacksonville 27, New England 17. Here's the thing.
Wow.
No, hold on.
Here's the thing.
We're going to get to that game in a second.
Pittsburgh put up lots of yards. I get it. No team has Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell that's remaining in the NFL playoffs or anyone close on their roster.
Doesn't matter to
with
the
equitable
Pats.
athletic ability.
Doesn't matter to the
or
Pats.
talent.
They've got
Let's
Gronk.
have Bill Belichick.
They have Bill Belichick and they have
it.
Gronk. So look at what Tom
Jaguars
Brady
have
has done.
Tom Coughlin though.
Yeah, no, you're right.
The
You're
Patriot offense is not as good as the Steelers offense.
Right. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, numbers wise, you're probably right. It's not as good. I guess the internet just went down completely because it's not working on my phone either right now. But,
I just noticed the same thing because I was going to look up how bad New England's defense had been this year, which last I looked was 30th in total defense.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot
you're
of the,
right.
a
You're
lot
right.
Of the advanced metrics have New England dead last.
Yeah, they bend, but they don't break. That's the thing.
They're in the top 10 in scoring defense, but they're 30th in total defense. And Jacksonville's offense, their defense gets all the publicity. Top 5 in scoring offense, 6th in total offense. Led the league in rushing the football.
It don't matter.
Hits the quarterback on defense.
42 points. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
And
I'm just saying you were riding them for only scoring 10 against Buffalo.
I was. You're right. But I mean,
Every matchup is different.
They were just, complete that defensive that strap, the sack strip fumble or whatever recovery run into the end zone. I mean, how often does something like that happen? Realistically,
But they made plays. The Jags defense
they
made
did.
plays when they had to.
They did. You're absolutely right. But they still gave up 42 points.
All right. Well, yeah, they gave up 42 points. Obviously, cause for concern.
And and
But
like
that
I said,
points out. You have. They don't have Bell. They don't have Brown. The Patriots. Listen, Tom Coughlin laid the blueprint on how to beat New England.
Yeah.
Now, not many people. I mean, it says something that the blueprint's there and people still can't do it. But I don't know, man. I don't have a feeling. The feeling that I had when the Giants played the Pats in the first Super Bowl, which I thought that honest to God, thought the Giants were going to beat New England the first Super Bowl they faced off in. But I like Jacksonville here, man. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm surrounded by Jags fans, getting hyped. But this team is confident. They stay within themselves. They don't make too many mistakes, and they force you to make mistakes. And that's going to really be put to the test against Brady. But I like Jacksonville, man. I can't tell you why. But
They hit the quarterback. And another thing we're not taking into account is Ben Roethlisberger is actually mobile.
Is he? Is he
Yeah.
really?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
everyone
I
said
saw
that
on
he's.
that touch-
Everyone's been saying that he's lost. He's lost
Bro,
a
on
step
that
in mobility.
touchdown pass to Antonio Brown, anyone else is down, sacked, done.
Well, he's like 6'5" anyway, 6'6", 250 or whatever. It's going to be tough to bring a guy like that down.
When
He's
he
huge.
made that catch, man. I was like, unbelievable catch, and I can't believe that he got that pass off.
All right, let's move on to this next game.
Hey, Saul.
Oh yeah.
Who did you pick in the Titans-Patriots game?
We're going to that. Don't worry. All right, we're going to that too. I want to talk about something. I got to take a little bit of pressure off me right meow.
You want
All
to
right.
talk about the miracle in
No,
Minnesota?
that's exactly what we're going to talk about. This miracle in Minnesota, because I mean that is like one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life, hands down. One of the craziest games ever.
I'm willing to put that play as one of the 3 best plays in NFL history.
See, I saw that post. What did you put on Facebook?
I said that the Minneapolis Miracle is on the same level as the catch between Montana and Clark in the 81 NFC Championship game.
What?
And Franco Harris's immaculate reception.
Elaborate, my friend.
You're talking about a play that there's never been a walk-off in regulation in NFL postseason history. And the catch, Stephon Diggs had to leave his feet. You ever seen Stephon Diggs jump that high? Because I haven't.
No, I mean, it's
First
not
of all, it wasn't even a good throw. It was an awful throw.
okay.
Stephon Diggs had to climb the ladder and get it. And by all rights, he should have been brought down in the field to play. And the game should have ended right there. If Williams just stood there and watched Diggs make the catch, grabbed him by his waist and threw him to the ground, the game is over.
Oh no, you're absolutely
The
right.
Saints are in the NFC Championship game. Nobody's mentioned that, by the way. I said last week the Saints-Vikings is the Super Bowl
Yeah.
and that the Saints would win. So
Yeah, no,
I was wrong on that one.
We all. I don't know. I picked the Saints. Did you pick the Saints?
Saints.
You-
Oh, I picked them.
Did you, Fox? You pick the Saints?
Yeah.
All right. Oh man.
So anyway, it wasn't a great throw by Keenum. That was all Stephon Diggs on the catch.
I mean, that was just a
And you tell me
missed
what's
tackle, bro. Everything. I don't even know what to. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I'm just.
aside from the immaculate reception and the catch. Name another play in NFL history that was better than what we saw on Sunday at US Bank Field. Or is it? I'm sorry, US Bank Stadium.
No, look, I mean, that's the first time in NFL history anything like that has ever happened, right? That's what they said. First time.
It's
like-
the
like
first
a
walk-off in regulation.
Yeah,
it's not the
walk-off
first
regulation,
walk-off
yeah.
because Tebow to Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah, in overtime. Listen, if you were going to tell me that in the second half, Drew Brees was going to come out 17 for 22, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and have 140 quarterback passer rating, I'd be like, yeah, the Saints won.
Saints by double digits.
Yeah. This is insane. Insane.
Like they totally crapped all over on Drew Brees' amazing performance. Like that's what got lost in all this is like Drew Brees was incredible in the second half of that game. He was every bit the Drew Brees that led his team to the Super Bowl in 2009.
What does this do to his? I don't want to say his legacy, but I guess maybe almost. I mean,
Brees
is he up
nothing.
there? Is he up there in age to kind of like?
He's
Is he
39.
at the end of his career? You know what I mean?
I think he's got 2 or 3 more years left.
at playing at that kind of level.
His arm strength is clearly diminished. So
Definitely.
all great quarterbacks go through the same thing at the end of their careers. Favre, Manning. We're starting to see it from Brady with his diminished arm strength. At some point, they're going to fall off a cliff. At some point, Drew Brees is going to be awesome, and the next minute,
All of a sudden
he's going to
done.
look like 2015 Peyton Manning.
I feel bad for Drew Brees, but I absolutely do not feel bad for Sean Payton. I am so sick of Sean Payton at this point. Like, remember when everyone felt bad for Sean Payton when he got suspended? Like, oh my God, the bounty gate, but boys will be boys. This year alone, we've have Sean Payton telling the Falcons that they choked on the sideline.
Yes.
And now we have Sean Payton leading the Skol chant, or I don't know if I pronounced that right for the Vikings. with
yeah,
10
I'm not
seconds left.
Yeah.
After Sean Payton had a large hand in the Vikings winning this game by not converting 3rd and 1 with 1 timeout left.
I still don't know. I'm in shock.
Why wouldn't you convert why wouldn't you convert 3rd and 1 and you still have 1 timeout left? Wouldn't Minnesota would have to burn their final timeout, and then you have a new set of downs. You could, I mean, it's you left. I said after the Saints kicked the field goal, I said to someone, everyone was obviously happy because I was surrounded by Saints fans. I said, they only have to get in the field goal range. A field goal wins the game. 30 seconds, 1 timeout at home. Is it extremely unlikely? Yes. Is it impossible?
Nope.
No. I entered impossible mode when there was 10 seconds left. I was like, all right, game's over. But initially I was like, dude, this is still a game. The game's definitely not over with that amount of time left and a timeout. And New Orleans, the second half was pretty much a shootout. Everyone's moving the ball on each other pretty well.
I just never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, to think,
How does he not have any help behind him? Like, where was everyone?
I mean, he took out. He was a safety. He was the help, wasn't he?
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was the last line of defense.
Yeah.
And
He took out the other guy, too.
and he took out his teammate.
He took out his teammate.
All he had to do was stand there, let Diggs catch the ball, and drag him to the ground because there was no way, if he had done that Diggs was getting out of bounds. There's no way. He was too far from the sideline. He had to go way up the ladder to get it.
Yep.
He would have pulled him down on the field of play, and the game would have been over.
I mean, is this? Did he miss that on purpose? How does this work? Explain to me explain to me the science of someone trying to tackle somebody like that.
Every time something crazy happens or out of the ordinary, you have a couple of people, and the Lions' Darius Slay didn't help this either. He made like a tongue-in-cheek comment that he got paid to miss that tackle. Listen, there was no fix. There's no nothing. You don't blow that. Like, you don't blow that play for any amount of money that in the world. If you're a professional football player, it's so like that's it's fixed. Why would you do that? Because you're he's a rookie, right? You're a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
You're a rookie, and you have no idea what the hell you're doing. That's why you did that in that moment.
Players don't fix games. Referees do.
Hey, I mean, look, I'm not arguing.
Looking at you, Tim
I don't believe
Donaghy.
it. Yeah. Hey, I believe it. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying it was an awkward way to try to tackle somebody when everything is on the line.
I think he was trying to blow him up.
Yeah.
To break
Yeah.
up the reception and just completely mistimed it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I just can't believe
the
it.
jacked up highlight.
Listen, I'm talking about, if someone would tell me you can have Case Keenum or Drew Brees, like who's going to win the game for you, you're automatically thinking Drew Brees 100% of the time. That's it. And now we're looking at, an NFC Championship game with Nick Foles and Case Keenum.
Casey Keenum.
Moving on to did anyone else?
Incredible.
Maybe I'm out of my element here, but did it seem like Philly in that game against Atlanta was kind of running a college, almost
offense?
option type deal? Like I maybe it's just the timing of me looking up at the TV, but I felt like Foles, I think that's crazier than the Vikings. Almost as crazy as the Viking Saints is that the Falcons couldn't do anything.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, I don't know, whatever.
What do you think about that, Matt?
Yeah.
What do you got for the Falcons and Eagles?
Because that's another one. Where if you were to tell me Matt Ryan versus Nick Foles, I'm going Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, right? Is the other guy. They got Tevin Coleman, Devontae Freeman. I'm like, and yeah, the Eagles have.
You
Nick
mean the
Foles
Steelers
starting.
of the NFC?
Yeah, I guess so.
The most loaded roster in the conference can't close the deal.
It's insane. I mean,
Sarkisian is one and done. You can't, right?
I wouldn't bring him back. Listen, I get that the Eagles' defense is really good. At the end of the game, you have to draw up a better play. Like Matt Ryan is supposed to be the world refers to him as a franchise quarterback, and they're drawing up a play that cuts the field in half. That's what you do for quarterbacks like Cam Newton, who can't get beyond their first read.
Can't get beyond their first
Or
read.
or
You look, you're not giving this guy
or
enough credit,
Kaiser
but I'm
for
just saying.
Browns,
the Browns.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you that one.
You have so many weapons, and yet you cut the field in half, and we're just trying to force the ball to Julio Jones, who actually probably should have made that catch, but I didn't really like the play call.
It's just it's insane. This whole NFL playoffs this year is just
It's
upside
been
down.
really great.
It's been good, but it's
I like
wild.
that there's all these weird faces in it, and like, I'm sorry, like this is my main. I don't necessarily dislike the Patriots. Like,
I do.
well, yeah, I mean, you're a Jets. Yeah, I get it.
Jets fan.
Yeah,
whatever.
that's fine. Like, but it's really not sour grapes about me being like, the freaking Patriots. It's just like I like that Jacksonville is here. I like that the Vikings are here. I even didn't mind that, or it was nice to see the Titans. I like fresh things, and it's almost like I tell people, I don't know how you can get stoked if you're a Patriots fan. Well, I do, but I don't know how you're gonna win the East, or if something horrible happens to you, you're probably winning a wild card, right?
Yeah.
This is 7 straight Final Fours. It's just like, stop. Like, it's enjoyable, and then everybody hates us for Pats fans. Like, yeah, it's boring. It's not that I don't appreciate the skill. I don't appreciate everything that goes into being the Patriots. It's just boring for me now. Great.
They're also not very exciting to watch.
No, they meticulously kill you.
Yeah.
I watched it when the Raiders played the Pats this year. I was just like, this sucks because they're not blowing me off the field, but there's also no way we're going to stop them with these guys these 4 or 5 yard pass plays. They're converting every third down. Like, it's awful.
They are death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yes.
That's what the New England Patriots are.
And they're cheaters. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I said it. And I don't care. Like, I'll be that annoying guy, whatever person who just goes out and says it. I mean, give me a freaking break already with these. How many? 2 touchdowns this season called back on them somehow magically. Not touchdowns.
The Jets game, and the Steelers game.
Yeah, I mean, blows my mind. And somehow every year it's always like that. Something happens. I don't get how the ball always seems to bounce their way.
Yeah, you get mad
That's the
because
thing.
it's
That thing blows my mind.
They don't need this help.
No,
The
no,
Patriots,
yeah.
You don't need any favors.
And
I saw a video that about them being cheaters. I'm pretty sure it was a joke, but it's like, there go the Patriots, like destroying evidence in the Titans game. It was like throwing the footballs into the stands.
oh my God. Well, since we're on this subject, and it wasn't even that cool of a game to even talk about or watch, because they blew them right out of the water. And at the first, hey, the Titans scored. They drew blood first, and I was like, oh, we might have us a game.
I felt like them scoring that touchdown was almost like the Pats getting slapped in the face, and then they're like, oh, like, we're playing a football game here. All right, never mind. Like, it's kind of like when you're groggy, you're like waking up, you don't want to get out of bed for school, and your mom's like, get up. You're like, oh, all right.
What was the final score to that, Matt?
It was 35-7.
Was it? I thought the Pats put up
Or
like 40
35-14. I'm sorry,
35,
Titans scored at the
okay.
end. But
Oh, my
but I was
goodness.
barely paying attention at that point because I was too busy thinking about you and your crazy, wild prediction of Tennessee is going to upset New England nonsense.
Oh man, listen, somebody had to pick them. All right, we can't just. I mean, somebody had to.
You see, Matt, that's what the Patriots do to people.
Oh man, make me go
They're
crazy.
It's so boring that they force people like our good friend Saul here to make outlandish predictions.
Oh,
I got to stand up for it.
jeez.
It's not his fault. It's the Patriots' fault. They forced him to do it.
Listen, and I mean, how. Like the Jags, I mean, and this is what I wanted to talk about. We'll go ahead and get into this now since we're talking about it. The Jags and the Pats. Like I said, the Jags gave up 42. I'm sticking to that. And listen, Bill Belichick, I just can't put this one past him. I get the whole Tom Coughlin thing, behind the scenes with Jacksonville. I just don't think it's going to happen this time.
Team.
I don't think it's going to happen this
How
time.
do you game plan for? And I know I was just praising my guy, but. So that don't take this as like an insult.
Yeah.
How do you game plan for Bortles though? Like, what are you shutting? Like, Belichick takes, I guess he's going to try to take away Fournette, right? And make Bortles beat him.
Yeah, just try to stop the run and
What I don't understand is how teams continue to let Bortles run free.
Yeah, he always kind of quietly has like 50. Like, I know he had 88 against Buffalo. I don't know what he put up against the Steelers.
He only had 35 rushing, but he had a couple of key runs where one was on a read option play where he kept it, and everyone, all 11 guys on the Pittsburgh defense were totally fooled. Never saw it coming. And we've seen him do this all season, and the defenses are fooled by it every time. And it just amazes me that no one yet has been able to key on Bortles' athletic ability. He's not the athlete, Cam Newton is, or Colin Kaepernick, or Deshaun Watson, and yet he seems to run free and wild on a couple of plays, week in and week out. And my question is Belichick, and a lot of times those runs keep drives alive. And my question is, will Belichick finally be the guy that is able to keep that in check?
This is a thing for me, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to hear any of the reports earlier today, but the Jags soundbite, I think Jalen Ramsey.
It was Ramsey.
Yeah, talking about how they're going to go ahead and win this, and talking trash pretty much, and then it goes to Tom Brady this morning on a radio show in Boston, saying how the Jags are the best team that they're going to face or whatever in the playoffs. Two completely different, I guess, tactics here. But
that highlights the difference too about Pittsburgh and New England. You have Brady here saying that the Jags are going to be the best team that they face, not looking past them, not giving them any bulletin board material. They don't need, he already knows they have the motivation.
Yeah. I mean, and again, you brought up the line. Vegas, 9.5?
9.5.
That's ridiculous.
I'll take it.
Patriots?
9.5.
Oh, yeah, I'll take Patriots all day on that.
All day
Listen,
Patriots.
I heard this crazy stat, and I think I told Matt this outside. Something like, I think 15 times they've been favored by 9.5, by something ridiculous like that.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I heard it coming into the Tennessee game. It was like that they were like 23-6 or something like
Well,
that, like being favored by 10 points.
Yeah,
or more.
something crazy, and like out of these 15 times or whatever, they've covered the spread 12 out of those 15 times and just blew these guys out of the water. Everything. I mean, Vegas doesn't lie, right? Except for. I mean, Vegas doesn't lie.
Vegas lies all the time. That's why you have so many upsets in sports.
I don't know, man. Do we have that many upsets in sports? If we did, they wouldn't be called upsets.
We have more than you
Come
think.
on,
More than you think.
Yeah,
Underdogs win every week in sports.
And I guess since I'm glad we're bringing this up real quick, because Fox might be able to tell me a little bit more about this.
Taking a beating lately.
So,
I don't know if you want to talk to me.
No, you're good. You're good. It doesn't matter. Listen,
Absolute beating.
this is the thing that I found kind of interesting. So the Minnesota Miracle, right? Stephon Diggs catches it. They go in. They didn't go out there and kick the extra point. The line was 5.5 on that, and they won by 5.
Well, I went to 5.5 game day though.
Oh, is that
It was
okay?
5 coming
Okay.
in.
They actually did go out to kick the extra
Oh no,
point.
they had to, but then they
Right.
need it, and that's what I'm saying.
They just took a knee.
Yeah.
Tom Morstead, the Saints punter, actually lined up on defense for the Saints.
No, it was dreams come true for these guys. They didn't care. They were just like whatever.
He was actually on the defensive line for the snap.
But what are the ramifications of something like that? You know what I mean? Like when you're
Well, it
thinking
didn't cover. If you had the Saints plus 5.5, you're good.
Yeah.
But if they kick the extra point,
it's I mean,
good.
I heard I was looking at
the game
videos
opened
online.
up though. I think the game opened at around 3.5 in some sports books though. So if you got action on it early, you might have been screwed already.
Extra points.
Extra points.
Whatever. I guess, and because of that, we got the Vikings playing the Eagles coming up, and I didn't think that was going to happen either. Did we even talk about that? Who do you guys have? I don't even know what to think.
Honestly,
I don't.
I have the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any particular reason, or?
I think there's a big letdown factor for the Vikings. I think that this is such an emotional game that you that could be their Super Bowl type deal. They're going to be outdoors in Philly. And I think it's time to focus on the Eagles' defense a little bit.
Good point.
I think Philly's win was almost equally as emotional. They were the underdog all week.
Yeah.
They showed up wearing dog masks. They had to get a stop at the end of the game to hold on. And so I don't know if like emotion is going to negatively affect one team or the other that much. What I do know is this. Did you think that coming into the NFC Championship game, you'd be talking about how Case Keenum's going to be the best quarterback on the field? I think both defenses are really good. I think Minnesota's is a little bit better. And Nick Foles is a little more prone, at least this season, from what I've seen since he took over for Carson Wentz, to making the disastrous play. And I ultimately think, I can't believe I'm saying this about Case Keenum, that quarterback play and the ability to not turn the football over will probably end up being what decides this football game.
Sidebar about Keenum, and this isn't about the game. You think that he could follow Shermer to the Giants? Because I remember that Keenum, I think there's a connection there between him and Pat Shermer, and isn't he a free agent or at least a restricted at the end of the year?
He can't. I mean, I suppose the Vikings could always franchise him if they believe he's the future of their franchise at 29 years old. I think if he's smart, he would follow the offensive coordinator that got his career together. I mean, that seems like a no-brainer to me.
Obviously, Eli is there. I'm aware of this, but he might not be there.
I don't think Eli Manning's in a Giants uniform next year.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, no.
Traded.
Traded? No, he gets cut.
He won't pick up his option, yeah.
Kansas City?
Mahomes. What do you don't think Mahomes is going to?
Well, yeah, you're right. But Patrick Mahomes is kind of the future there. But
Why not Denver?
Denver.
Why not
But
Denver?
I actually think Kirk Cousins will end up in Denver.
I'd love to see him in Jets green. I'll tell you that. I think Kirk Cousins.
I want to
ends
see
up in
Kirk
Jets.
Cousins boldly go where many have gone before and be the starting quarterback of the Browns. I really want that
Oh
to happen.
my God, that'll never happen.
It's,
That'll never
I know
happen.
the internet, but there was something. I think it was ESPN even picked it up that they said he. Now I guess this is like a bar. You know, it could be like bargaining chip, and if they are going to throw a boatload of money at him, fine. But they said he wouldn't be adverse to playing for the Browns. He wasn't shutting it down. Basically, they signed Kirk Cousins and used those draft pick to, get maybe like a running back or. Well, I say that, but I like
an offensive line.
Yeah.
That's what they're
Duke
going to do.
Johnson though.
Yeah.
Like he was good.
Yeah, he's all right. He's speedy.
If I'm another franchise, I'm a GM for somebody else that's looking to sign Kirk Cousins, and I hear him say that he's not adverse to playing for the Browns, I immediately question his judgment and pull the offer off the table.
I mean, since we're talking about these guys, different, we're many faces in different places. Apparently, yeah, McDaniels stinks. So it's not official. That hasn't come out. But the only reason I'm saying this is because I guess his defensive coordinator, the guy that he's picking for, not Patricia, but they're saying Patricia. I keep hearing is going to go to the Giants, but I don't know.
I've heard Matt Patricia to the Lions.
Really?
To Detroit.
Oh, see, then that just goes to show I've no idea what's happening. But
I heard Matt Patricia to the Giants too, but then Pat Shermer came out of for me came out of nowhere.
I wish we had internet so I could look up the guy's name. But anyways, Josh McDaniels has his own little kind of one of his buddies, the guy he's picked to be defensive coordinator for him in Indy.
His staff,
get his staff together. His wife went ahead and put up this picture on Facebook of her and her husband, the defensive coordinator, with a Indianapolis Colts filter on it already as her Facebook profile picture or whatever. And I'm saying, this is ridiculous. I mean, if your wife, not even...
What's going to be more interesting, free agency or the coach free agency?
Yeah.
This is crazy. How many...
The coaching carousel is much more interesting to me than where the
absolutely.
players are going.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can't really say for sure that they hired him. But I mean, come on.
But how many Patriots coordinators?
Anything
by
on
the way?
Facebook?
We're talking about McDaniels and like Patricia and all these guys. How many Pats coordinators, excluding Bill O'Brien, but even he's like, Romeo Crennel, Charlie Weiss, like all these guys, none of them were especially good. And McDaniels, maybe he was his feud with Cutler in Denver was part of the reason he didn't, exactly
succeed.
blow up
Maybe,
there.
yeah.
But I find it hard to believe that why would these guys want to leave the situation that they're in right now?
What the coordinators for?
Yeah.
Oh, because they know that time's up.
To get paid? Like,
No,
what?
they know that's it. Look,
Stop.
they know Bill Belichick isn't going to be there next year.
Yes, he is.
No, man, I'm telling you. Look, if they
He
win,
said he is.
Yeah, he says a lot of things, and he doesn't say a lot of things. You know what I mean? And I'm just they just know what's up. Look, you got to get paid, man. They're in this league where they just saw John Gruden get $100 million contract. So why not? Come on. And I'm glad you're here. By the way, Ryan Fox is a Raiders fan. Just if you guys have heard the show before, we've talked about this before, but I don't think Matt over here was introduced to your fandom here. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, he says he's sorry. No, look,
ready
tell
for
him what you think.
I'm ready for it.
Oh my goodness. Tell him what
can't
you
wait.
think. Tell him what you think about the Gruden hire. Go for it.
I
We
think
got time.
10 years is a long time to be out of the game, and people talk about how he was still doing those quarterback camps. Listen, you're in a studio in Bristol, Connecticut, doing quarterback camps, getting your makeup done before you go on camera.
AC.
This is in the AC.
He looked great.
This is not
Looks good.
This is not running. This is not running an NFL franchise, day-to-day operations, showing up at 3 a.m. to look at game tape and put together a game plan. He hasn't done this in forever. And his offense that he ran then so successfully probably wouldn't work the same today.
Why not? I mean, the 10-year deal, I'd bite. Even if I'm not qualified.
I don't
I'll
know,
bite.
man.
Well, I mean, if you're him, of course you sign the deal. What has John Gruden done, though, that is worth $10 million a year?
Nothing. Overrated, if you ask me.
What?
I'm a Bucks fan. Overrated.
He won a Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's players. He missed the playoffs 6 times in 11 years. I'm not saying he's a good coach. I just don't think he is
Great analyst, though.
Mike. If you ask me, do I think John Gruden's a better coach than Mike Tomlin? No, I don't think John Gruden's a better coach than Mike Tomlin. I don't think John Gruden is a better coach than obviously Belichick. I don't think he's a better coach. Like, would I take John Gruden right now, or would I rather have one of those guys out in the NFC West, Shanahan or McVay? I would take Shanahan or McVay because they turn franchises around like that.
You would take Mike Shanahan?
No, Kyle
Oh,
Shanahan.
okay, Jesus. Well, you're a 49er fan. Stop it. See,
but-
come on.
hold
Put all your cards out on the table,
Whoa, whoa,
man.
wait a
Come
minute.
on.
Hold on, but I
is
also
great.
hate the Los Angeles Raiders with a passion, and I would take McVay in a heartbeat over like 28 other coaches in the NFL right now.
Oh, my goodness.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Look,
No,
I think it's solid.
I understand where he's coming from. I understand where everyone is coming from.
Yeah.
About it. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little concerned about some of the guys that he's brought in on the staff already. But
Like who?
He brought back Tom Cable.
Yeah,
that was
wild.
pretty interesting.
Didn't he punch somebody?
Yes,
in the-
1,000%.
That was
He punched
awesome.
multiple people.
Yeah.
A big part of that is that some of them were women.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
I wish I was kidding you.
Whoa.
He broke his assistant's jaw. That's that was number one. Then he was involved in a couple of domestic disputes, which is interesting because Mark Davis said that he had a zero tolerance policy.
The Raiders are back, baby.
Oh, man. This is wild. All right. Let me take a quick pause here. Not a break, but because we don't have anything to break to, but I just got to give a quick plug to LFTwebsites.com and LFTRealtyInc.com. Need some website work done, LFTwebsites.com. Go do it. Go check it out. If you need anything, any kind of realty needs trying to find a house or anything like that, because that's what you got to do if you're an adult. Hopefully, is find somewhere to live and get out of your mom's
Need
house.
some reality advice.
Yeah, as anything. But LFTRealtyInc.com, go check them out. They'll take care of you guys for sure. Tell Melissa Wilson, Solly D sent you, and they'll take
She'll
care of
give you a house for free.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I wish. I don't think they can do that, but I know they do a lot of things. They do like
You don't know
vacations
until
and
you
stuff like
ask.
that. Yeah, but hey, you're right. Just ask. All right. At this point of the time of the show, I would.
I could rant about.
Yeah.
Matt's
No.
got-
Go ahead. Go ahead. What were,
I have a question for everybody in here.
ask away.
There's 4 of us in here today.
Ask away.
Josh McDaniels. Do we think he'll succeed in his second go around as a head coach?
No, I'm very confident about this.
Wow.
Where did he coach before, though?
The Broncos and everyone hated him.
Broncos.
Jay Cutler.
Cutler, not just I think Marshall hated him too. He was like, "I'm out of here. And that's when he got traded to the Bears. It's easy to armchair quarterback this now and be like, "Well, look at Marshall, with the Bears. Marshall was a pretty good, what was it, Jet for a year, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have any problems with him there.
He was a Jet for like 2 years.
He
I
was
think.
kind of a pretty a model citizen with the Bears.
He did all right in Miami
a little
too, right?
outspoken. Oh man, I totally forgot.
Yeah,
that
he was on the
even played for
Dolphins, man. It wasn't bad. Listen, I honestly, I think that McDaniels might have it figured out this time. I think he ate enough crow.
Why?
I mean, listen, humble pie.
He was really young too.
Yeah,
Like he was really young when he took that. I don't.
he the
We don't
youngest
have
at the
internet,
time?
but I want to say he might have even been under the age of 30.
No, I don't know if he was under the age of 30. That would have been.
But he was like really, really young.
because the big John Gruden was a big deal because he was young, and Mike Tomlin was a big deal because he was young. I don't think he was that young. I don't think he was under 30, but he came in there with his bravado, because he was a offensive coordinator for New England before that, correct?
and there lies like
And
the
he
issue.
came in thinking like, oh, look, well, we just won a chip, whatever. I'm the man. I think he's learned maybe this time, and I think maybe players will give him a little more respect after they've seen maybe what the offense has done in New England the last couple of years with an old ass Tom Brady.
But maybe Matt can correct me on this. I don't know if he's ever been anywhere except for New England and Denver. Maybe he had did he have a pit stop after Denver for like a second, or did he just go right back to New England? I don't think you can accurately judge someone who's an offensive coordinator for Tom Brady. It's apparent that Belichick is running the show there.
Offensive coordinator for the Rams in 2011 for 1 season.
That's where he went. Yeah.
His only other coaching experience prior to his first run in New England was at Michigan State. To be honest, I'm not sure he's actually going to leave the Patriots because I think he's Bill Belichick's heir apparent.
I can see that keeping it
way.
in house.
No way. I don't
I
see
think
that
it's
happening.
more likely that he takes over for Belichick than he finds success outside of that Patriots model. It's not just with players, like I said earlier. You see, like Cornell, Weiss. There's a bunch of guys who have left New England, and only Bill O'Brien has had like really any success.
And when I say that, I mean I think Josh McDaniels will be New England's head coach next season.
Next season,
You're ridiculous. I'm
where's
glad.
Belichick?
I'm
Is
glad
he
we're
done if he
recording
wins the
this.
championship, or-
Bill Belichick's going to retire. Listen, the strife that was being reported prior to the Titans game, while it did not affect them on smashing the Tennessee Titans,
It's very real.
I think it's very real.
Yeah, I think so too. But I don't think.
The whole thing is so weird to me because it's like I don't know who has anything to gain by this story coming out.
You don't trade Jimmy Garoppolo if you know how good he is for a second round pick, unless, like, to me, that's him. I'm out. Belichick's gone, and I don't think he's going to another roster. He's 65 years old. He doesn't have an heir apparent for Brady. I think win, lose, or draw in the rest of this postseason, he's going to ride off into the sunset.
Can the Patriots win a Super Bowl without Belichick, but with
No.
the same roster?
no way.
They win games because of Belichick.
What if
No, he's
Yeah.
a master
He knows-
tactician.
What
He
if
knows
they
the rules more than the referees.
what if they
Yeah,
keep
apparently.
You know?
what if
He
they
studies
keep
the rules.
what if they keep McDaniels, or if he just moves up to the head coach, and they just have some stooge as offensive coordinator. But we all know that McDaniels is running the offense.
No, because I think there are things that Bill Belichick does that no one else is capable of doing.
Yeah, I know.
see that.
There's no way they win without Bill Belichick.
He's the greatest tactician probably in NFL history. Like, especially preparing like opponent specific game plans.
Better than Shula?
Oh, way better than Shula. Way better.
take-
The only guy that's on the level was Walsh.
We take Belichick. I think
Parcells?
even though it sucks, like I said, it's boring. Whatever. It is going to be weird to be able to talk to people in like maybe a little while. Like, yeah, I lived through that whole era.
Yeah.
And like you can when he's been out of the league for a minute and they start like history starts kind of you start talking about people like he might be the next, and it's like no, it's the way they talk about Jordan.
Yeah,
he's the next
exactly.
Jordan. It's like no,
Yeah.
it's not. No one's going to be there's not a next Bill Belichick.
Well, speaking of Jordan, we're getting to
Yeah.
one of my
I don't even want to talk
favorite
about
parts of the
I don't
show.
want to talk about basketball games. I don't want to talk about anything else except for
No, well, all right, hold on. Let me. So real quick, let me fill everybody in. The Cavs and Warriors played for the second time this season, and it looked like the Cavs kind of came out with a little bit of firepower. They were up by 7 at the half, and then the Warriors do what the Warriors do. They turn it on and just embarrass them.
I don't think the Warriors respect Cleveland.
Oh, who would? They don't need to respect them.
Like,
You
I don't
kidding
think
me?
I don't
Get
think,
out of here.
I don't think they respect him as a serious threat.
No, you're
They're just
absolutely
like,
right. And they shouldn't respect anybody as a serious threat. There's nobody. I mean, whatever. Give it to the Warriors right now. They won it already.
the Rockets are out here fighting the Clippers. You
Oh God, thank you. And that brings me to the next game.
They're
Yeah.
going to beat the Warriors.
No, come on. You're right. And then we had Chris Paul's comeback, like home. Welcome home
Was
game.
that the best welcome home game ever?
I-
Welcome home. I'm going to fight everyone.
that is one of the
Show them the
best.
secret tunnel.
That is one of the best.
Chris Paul in the Chamber
Story-
of Secrets. I loved it.
Dude, that is the best story I've heard. So apparently these are the angles that I heard for that, by the way, because apparently Chris Paul went because he's like the head of the players union and he's trying to make sure that
the
nothing
hell,
crazy
he's the
is
head
gonna
of the
happen.
lynch mob, is
Yeah,
what he was.
exactly. So out of nowhere the Clippers get Blake Griffin back. DeAndre Jordan's hurt, but even with a bunch of G League, not D League anymore, but it's a G League now apparently because Gatorade got guap like that. Yeah, the G League's for guap. But they got a bunch of ragtag players on this Clippers team.
Stop. Look, Lou Williams is the truth.
Yeah, Lou Williams is the truth.
I
Anybody else on that Clipper team besides Blake Griffin and Lou Williams? I mean, even Austin Rivers is hurt. So they went ahead and
Austin Rivers in his Vince McMahon suit on the
Bro,
sideline.
that was classic. So, the Clippers go ahead and ruin the homecoming for Chris Paul, and they went ahead and won, and Blake Griffin looks good. And let me see, what I'm trying to think what else. Because Martin Luther King Day is a big day for NBA. And I'm trying to think, oh, yeah, that's right. I wish I had a sound effect for this. But the Knicks beat the Nets.
Yeah.
Porzingis
Hey.
coming through. But that's neither here nor there because we're going to go ahead and talk about all right, let's talk about this locker room nonsense.
Yes.
All right. So the reports. So it looked like throughout the game or in the fourth quarter, Blake Griffin is running down the court on a apparent fast break, and it looks like Mike D'Antoni has stepped out of the coach's area there, and he's kind of on the court. So from the reports that I've read, it said that the Rockets players were mad because Blake Griffin looked like he was trying to clip Mike D'Antoni, kind of like run him over while he's going for this fast break. So as soon as he gets
great.
yeah, so as soon as he gets down there in the post, he's got CP3 on him, mouse in the house. Give the ball to Blake Griffin, and he gets an and one, and then that's when like all hell breaks loose, and everybody's just mad. Rewind before that, there was an obvious goaltending call missed. Eric Gordon went up for a layup. The ball hit the backboard clearly first, and then I forget who blocked it, but it was just tempers were flaring. You look over, Trevor Ariza looks like he's jawing at the bench there at Austin Rivers.
Austin Rivers said that he.
What's going on? What's going on?
Austin Rivers apparently said that he banged Chris Paul's wife.
No.
That's what it was about. That's
Way.
why they were like, what? That's why,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Where are you getting this from? Where did you get this from?
The internet.
Whoa, my goodness.
It was the internet, but it was a news article. Like, so it's not just like I read the comments on something.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's like he said that he smashed out his wife. I think his wife. That's why I smashed Jada. He said that he didn't. Now it's understood that he didn't actually do that, but he said it to get under Chris Paul's skin. It worked.
Man.
This also is great because now we can stop the old. Oh, there's nothing there. You know, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin were great friends on the Clippers. No, they were not, apparently.
Nope.
Griffin bounces a ball off of a guy's back. Yeah, Tony screaming, fuck you at him.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
It was wild. I mean, you're talking about Chris Paul gave up $200 million to not play with Blake Griffin and Austin Rivers and the Clippers and goes over to Houston. There are reports as well are coming out that DeAndre Jordan wants to get traded to Houston.
That's never
but
gonna happen.
that's not gonna. I don't see that
DeAndre Jordan's
happening.
probably the saddest person about this. Like, oh man,
So after
foiled again. I should have just signed with the Mavericks.
After they lose, apparently Chris Paul decides to take a couple of his teammates.
Squads up.
So it was Trevor Ariza, Chris Paul. Who else was it?
James Harden.
Someone was a decoy for this whole plot.
And Chris Paul was lagging around in the back the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! So they come out there, and I guess so. The report said that they didn't get into the locker room itself. They got into like their training facility or their training area, and the Clippers guys were in their locker room, and the Rockets guys are just yelling through the wall, I guess, through the door at them, trying to get them come out. Apparently, LAPD was called for this to try to separate them. I've never in my life heard of the cops getting called into an NBA locker room to break up an NBA fight. It's an NBA fight.
Well, I was just about to say,
nobody throwing punches.
I was just about to say, I know the cops were called to the Wizards locker room to come get Gilbert
Gilbert
Arenas'
Arenas.
guns. Okay,
Well, that's different. You guy comes into work strapped. Give me a break. But
Never know.
Yeah,
what you're gonna need.
yeah. But this is insane. On Martin Luther King Day, you're head of the Players Association, and
Let's ride.
you lose. Yeah.
Let's ride on these fools.
And this guy apparently has got, I don't even know, Warren G's, regulators playing in the locker room.
The fact that they sent a decoy is like my very underrated part of this story.
Dude, it
they
blows
sent
my
the role
mind.
player to the front, like there he is. It's like, haha, it's an ambush.
this is just the craziest thing.
Sacrificial lamb to the front.
I've never. So I'm watching NBA TV, and I heard the story. I think it was Jalen Rose was told a story about Steve Smith and another player that they got in an altercation in the back. I wish I could remember this player because this player, Kendall Gill, that's who it was.
Oh, that's a good name.
Damn. And apparently Steve Smith got beat up by Kendall Gill. Kendall Gill threw a couple punches at him. And they got fined $2,500 the next day, and then that was it.
And that's that.
Yeah,
Did you see Barkley and Shaq laughing at the Clippers?
Oh, that was one of the best. Inside the NBA is one of the best shows ever. Yeah.
Chris Paul's coming to get me.
Should there be any repercussions for this?
Absolutely not.
Nobody gets
We're
suspended.
all talking about this. This is a horrible look. No, it's not. It's great. It's just hilarious. Did anyone get hit? No. Fine them $5,000 and say don't do that again.
yeah, I don't think there's going to be a suspension over this,
Oh man, this is just one of the funniest things.
but it's a bad look for Chris Paul
It
as the
is.
head of the players union.
Extremely bad, man. I think it's bad. Look for
That
everybody
wasn't
involved.
Chris Paul. It was Cliff Paul. That was that's his out.
Oh man, I just can't believe it. I just can't believe that they hate Austin Rivers this much. And he's always been that guy. I mean, it
I
blows
can't
my
buy
mind.
that though. I could, especially from coming from Chris Paul. There has to be that
Like animosity
daddy's
or
boy
anything
type
like-
thing. The only reason you're on the team is because Doc is here. We could, maybe he correctly feels that Austin Rivers handcuffed them a little bit roster wise while he was in LA. I was shitting bricks when I heard that they were going to trade. The Knicks were going to trade for Austin Rivers.
Yeah, I don't want that
was
happening.
very bad. I
Yeah,
didn't like
no.
that. He's a very. I heard he's a nice guy because he's got ties to the area, Orlando. But yeah, I could see why some players might not like him just because having nothing to do with him. Just it looks fishy that he's with his dad on the.
Maybe they don't like him because he's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, look. So I covered him in high school. I covered Austin Rivers.
but is he a terrible person?
No, and he's like one of the nicest. He was a nice kid, super nice kid. You know what, man? He couldn't finish at the rim. That's all I remember. I'll tell you that. Quick first step. He had a shot. And he still can't finish at the rim because I've watched him in college, watched him in the pros, misses a lot of layups. I get it. I guess I could see where Chris Paul and the rest of these guys might say something like that because it's tough. It's tough being the coach's kid. I mean, I could see that.
He was almost out of a job until his dad.
Until his dad signed him. Yeah,
I don't like
guess
to blame
so.
him for that because it's like you can't help your own. You're not going to play for your dad. You're not going to play in the NBA. But you have to live with that set of circumstances surrounding you. It's a little tough, but it comes with the territory, I guess.
I guess since we're on this whole locker room beef and stuff like that, I wanted to bring this up too. So the Warriors went ahead and whooped up on the Cavs. And I want to talk about this game as well because the Cavs are in trouble. By the way,
they're in deep trouble.
They've lost 8 out of their last 10. They were down by 41 of the T-Wolves in that game at one point. They were down 35 to the Raptors at one point in that game.
They blew a 24-point lead to the Pacers.
Yeah, they blew. I mean, is it time to really panic? Because in January, the last couple, couple seasons or so, they've gone through this same kind of struggle. But this is completely different. I mean, they're getting handled in these games.
What's a tough spot if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, that the organization, because you do have that Brooklyn pick, but you have LeBron has not committed to Cleveland. So he's seen this story before,
Yeah.
where LeBron, I'm probably going to stay, but I'm not going to say I'm staying. You go all in. You screw your franchise. He leaves. You can't do that. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to do that a second time. You can't blame. You can't blame the owner for not letting it get burned like that again.
So what do you do? I mean, is this?
You ride it out, man. I mean,
you ride it out. You don't make any moves. You don't make a trade. You don't try to get anybody on that team.
If I'm Cleveland, if I'm the owner, I go to LeBron and say, "Look, I need to know now what your plan is because I'm open to improving this team," which in itself is kind of silly because no one out there is going to get you to beat the Warriors, but I'm sure we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, who's even available?
Yeah.
I mean,
the trade market.
Look, you could look. Anthony
DeAndre
Davis,
Jordan
DeMarcus Cousins
is the big name that keeps coming up.
But do you think that if you trade for DeMarcus Cousins, you give up the Brooklyn pick, you give up some, I don't know, expiring contracts,
you give
or
up
whatever,
Kevin Love or something,
or
like
you're
that.
going to have to give up Jay Crowder to bring somebody like that in?
Okay.
Does that make you that much better? DeMarcus Cousins has never been on a playoff team.
You're absolutely right. But there's
Why
a
is
first time
that?
for everything.
Why is that?
I mean, he was on the Kings and they sucked.
I won't fault him for being stuck on the Kings. You know?
Yeah.
But now he's playing with another superstar.
And they're actually not doing too bad.
Yeah.
They're doing okay.
And Rajon Rondo is actually kind of being a decent point guard again.
They're doing okay.
Yeah.
But they're not great.
No, they're not great. But listen, to get out of there and to play with LeBron and go to the Cavs and try to make a deep playoff run, it makes sense for the Cavs because, I mean, the Warriors' kryptonite is what? When you go super big on them, apparently.
Kryptonite is a very strong.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
you're
the
right.
thing.
I'm not-
I don't know. Like that's what That's it. That's no one. Well, I don't want to say no one. A lot of things can happen over a 7-game series. Yada yada yada. Tired narrative.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm the Cavaliers, I'm just like, if you don't, you to LeBron, you're. First of all, it's an adjustment period to Isaiah Thomas coming in. He hasn't played with them all whole season. It's embarrassing, but they're not going to be this bad.
I just think this looks different. This is the different kind of Cleveland team we're looking at right now. And I think they need to make a move.
What have they done? Like, I mean, they still have J.R. Smith. He's old. He's getting old now.
Yeah, he's not doing it. Iman Shumpert's like recovering from arthroscopic surgery.
They keep the same core. It's they keep the same guy. LeBron's running that team. So if he's running the team, you tell him, look, I don't have a problem or maybe you should have a problem, but they obviously don't. I don't have a problem with you doing this, but I'm not going to mortgage the future for you to leave, in the offseason. So if you want me to go out and trade this pick, significantly try to improve this roster, pull out some deal that nobody sees coming, I'll do it. But you got to be here, because if you're not, I'm not doing this again where my team becomes a laugh. I'm left at the altar again, so to speak. You're gone. You're in LA. You're in New York. You're wherever you want to go. Back Miami. Who knows? And I'm sitting here with nothing. With maybe Kevin Love and Isaiah Thomas. Well, Thomas is a free agent. Is Love a free agent?
I don't know. I don't know about Love's contract. I got to look into that.
So you're stuck with him, Jameson. You have one of the worst teams in the league, basically, and nothing to show for it. That's where they're at, because they're not going to finish. They're not going to have a high. They're not going to have a lottery pick this year.
Listen, I just think they need to make a move to beat the Warriors.
But they're not going to beat the Warriors. The Celtics have
try.
a better.
Yeah.
The Celtics were to go out and get Anthony Davis or DeMarcus Cousins, that might be a little bit more feasible. Maybe I think Hayward is making some crazy progress. Or
They
has he slowed down a little bit?
they didn't put a timetable on it, but that's tough.
He's
man.
shooting.
To come back. If they make it in the playoffs, I could see him. I could see him come back in the playoffs. Yeah.
This is what Cleveland needs to be successful. They need to go out and get a rim protector.
Yeah.
Somebody to play in that was their downfall.
Their defense
last
is
year.
horrible this year.
They need some rim protector, great rim protectors control the game on the defensive end of the floor. They can cover up holes like a free safety in football. They cover up other holes in your defense. You got some guys that aren't that great. We saw it in Orlando with Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was surrounded by a bunch of garbage defenders who all their one job was to funnel everything to Dwight Howard. They were top 3 consistently under Stan Van Gundy in defensive efficiency, just because they had the best rim protector in the league. That's something they're missing greatly. And all they really need, they need to get a rim protector, put 3 other shooters around LeBron consistently on the court, and they'll win lots of basketball games. And they still won't beat the Warriors because they just don't have the firepower. Durant, Thompson, Green.
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah,
You're not beating the Warriors.
Curry, yeah, no, it's too much.
Your best case scenario, you lose to the Warriors in 6.
So
best case, if you get the right pieces around you.
I guess another quick funny thing, since we were on the locker room thing, so something funny happened to the away locker room over in Cleveland as well. Apparently, they had no hot water after they beat the Cavs. So.
And it was 27 degrees outside.
It was 27
FYI.
degrees outside, yes. So you can only imagine how cold this water is coming in, trying to shower. And, come on. It's funny. The report said that they heard Kevin Durant calling for Bron, like through the walls or something. He'd say, man, you can't get no hot water in here. It's like somebody get Bron.
They're taking all the money and the hot water.
The Warriors were kind of making a joke at it. It's not like they were legitimately super upset. But you hear about stuff like this all the time, where teams go on the road and something like that happens to them.
Well, you heard stories back in the day about food poisoning and stuff like
Kobe,
that. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and Jordan.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Real quick, we got a couple minutes, and I guess I got to bring these guys up because it wouldn't be a complete show if I didn't bring up how crappy the Orlando Magic are. They play the Timberwolves tonight here in Orlando, and I don't think anybody could even care. Fox, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with this team? What's wrong with the Magic?
They're garbage.
We have a scheduled 10 minutes left in the show, so that's a load. I'm gonna go with Matt here. Defer to Matt. They stink. They're not very good.
They have one player who's capable of being a third option on a decent team, and they have the rest is total garbage.
Yeah,
total garbage.
100%.
I'm not trying to take this down a sensitive path, but. And I guess I don't know if this is entirely true, but I saw a graphic that Jonathan Isaac invited all of his teammates to see him preach or something like that. I guess he's really passionate about that. And no one showed up.
What? Oh, man.
No one. Not one person.
Oh,
I know
man.
there's probably opinions about that. You shouldn't be forced to do certain things. I get it. Personally speaking,
yeah, if you're a
I
teammate,
would pop my head in there,
show some
wave
support
out the back door.
Yeah,
just show my face. just so my buddy knows, like, or my teammate knows, like, hey, you know, we're a team. I'm going to support you in your ventures on and off the court. No one shows up. What is going on?
I don't think he's the answer either for them at all. I know Matt keeps saying the guy's a project, but listen, man.
I think Elfrid Payton was one of the guys that I heard him linked to the Cavs. Like, the hell do the Cavs want Elfrid Payton?
That wouldn't
ridiculous.
even help Cleveland.
No,
Like,
he can't shoot for a
Cleveland
lick.
needs shooters.
Yeah.
3 and D guys.
Yep, they that's exactly what they need. Man, I guess that's it. Whatever. Shout outs, final words, any plugs, anybody want to say anything?
Yeah,
before
here's
we
a
come
final
on?
word.
Oh,
Here's a
okay.
final word
Here
for
we
you.
go. Go for it.
Jacksonville 27, New England 17.
What's the
Oh,
score?
no.
What's the score of the
Goodness.
Eagles-Vikings game?
I'll take Minnesota 23, Philadelphia 17.
What about go, Saul? You? Both games.
Yeah, who are you picking in these games?
Listen, I'm looking at New England probably putting up about 35 on Jacksonville. I'll give them 28. New England 28. I'll give Jacksonville like 17.
Stop drinking before the show.
I'm serious. 28-17, New England. And then I'd probably give Minnesota
Based on our
Philly.
history, we now
Yeah, I
know
know.
Jacksonville will win.
Oh, God. You know what? They are playing outdoors. I got to give it to Philly. It's going to be a tough one, like 13-10 Philly.
I'll take Philly +3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The resident gamblers over
I'll take
here,
the
these
+3,
guys.
And I'll actually take the 9.5. I think it was actually 9 points, but I'll take the half points. Well, 9.5. Patriots.
Oh, Fox.
Here's a free.
So wait,
Cover
you like the
last.
Patriots to cover that spread?
They're gonna cover 9.
Yeah.
They're gonna cover. Believe it or
All
not,
right,
guys.
straight. All right, gambling. My gambling picks are actually the same as my actual. I got a teaser for you guys.
That's not his face. Yeah. Ooh, I like where he's going.
Jacksonville, you can tease to 15.5.
Oh.
And I went ahead and gave Philly the extra 3. It's 6. Philly +6, Jacksonville +15.5.
Oh, man.
Lock it down.
Oh, man. Fox is stone cold.
As
lock.
for
That sounds like a little parlay right there.
as for the games themselves, 24-17 Jacksonville, 17-10 Philly.
Wow. All right. Interesting. I like it.
Now we know all the networks
like
are
another-
hoping it's Minnesota, New England,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
but
I think that they could get some mileage out of Philly, New England too, just because of the fan bases.
Yeah, I
they'll
think so.
focus more on like these Eagles fans are killing themselves. You
Yeah,
know, like,
yeah,
and then,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you know, just stuff like
But-
that.
And it's like a rematch of what, Super Bowl, whatever,
They
a
could
long
run with
time
like the
ago.
Vinny, the Super Bowl where everyone who calls T.O. like a horrible player and doesn't care
Yeah,
about the team.
that
He
Super
played
Bowl was in
played with
Jacksonville,
Played
by
with
the
a
way.
broken leg in that Super Bowl, I think.
He did. He came back. That was insane.
But he never cares about his teams.
No, yeah. Well, team obliterator, according to some people. Go for it, Matt. Go for it.
so who does everybody here have winning the Super Bowl?
At this point,
Man.
I've got
Saul's like, don't do it.
I know. Why are you even asking me this?
I've got
You know what
Minnesota.
it looks like? I guess we're out of time. Sorry, guys. Have a good night. Click.
I like Minnesota to win the whole thing.
Minnesota to win the whole thing.
I'm sticking
Really?
with.
Sheesh.
You might jump off your own train, but I'm the co-pilot on it, and I'll take a. I'm all about the Jaguars right now.
Well, I only had the
I'm taking them to the end.
I only had the Jags to the Super Bowl. My initial pick when the playoffs began was New Orleans defeating Jacksonville. In
Yeah, I had New Orleans
Minnesota.
winning the whole thing, and now that's
But I also said
Long
last
gone.
week New Orleans, Minnesota was the Super Bowl. They are the two most complete teams that,
That was the best
I've
game.
watched.
yeah.
When the playoffs began, I realized those were the two most complete teams I had watched all year. And I wasn't giving Case Keenum enough credit
Nothing wrong
for
with
most
that.
of the year.
That makes two of us, but
But he's been real efficient. He's been basically Alex Smith.
jeez. All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps it up, man. Everybody be cool. Don't forget to check out Long Shot Bar and Billiards, located down 192 over in the Four Corners area. Text the word Long Shot to 57711. Get a free drink on us. I don't know. Go downtown, get some drinks over at Cleo's Lounge in Magnolia, and Everywhere else, Finn's and the Lodge. I don't know
I
where
just
else
opened
I go.
up.
Back
well,
booth. Oh no,
No, it's not
Soundbar.
back booth anymore. It's
Hey,
Soundbar.
there you go. Tell us
I'm
about
going
this
after it
place.
right now. It is. It's back booth, but it's not back booth. It's Soundbar. We renovated the whole place. New toilets.
Holy crap!
New
great.
floors.
All right.
Mural, new artwork. It looks. I'm not just saying this because I work there. It looks insane. It's really good in there. They have a comedy show tonight.
Oh, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
That's right.
By the time you hear it, it'll be over, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But
sorry.
yeah, we got a lot of stuff in the works at Soundbar.
It starts at 10?
I think
Or
the doors
tonight?
are at 9. I gotta be there at 7:45. But yeah, I mean,
All right, word. All right, shit, I might
eat
stop
some
by.
lukewarm Taco Bell.
Yeah, I can't wait. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. You've been listening to Matador Sports News Network with Matt the Stat, Ryan Fox, our special resident gambling guest here. Oh, fuck that. My boy Alex and Saul. And great, we got to get that flight taken care of, bruh, because we need you back on the show. And hopefully we'll have internet going next time, and we'll have it live for you guys and ready to go. But like I said, we'll go ahead and post this up later. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, no music, no nothing. Is that the camera? Yeah, everyone, say bye to the camera. Hey, peace.
Hey.